And I just want to map this out a little bit. This is something I have developed over the last 18 months. And it was my way of as a non-climate person, as a private environmentalist, I used to, I thought I was okay, right? I was recycling, had worm farms, I had green energy, solar panels, like I'm doing my bit. But I didn't fully understand the climate tech landscape, and this is how I map out to understand it. And what I hope from this mapping this out is that you see the complexity, but also the opportunity within this. So the first layer I think about is what climate impact are you trying to have? And there are four big ones that I think are important. We've got to reduce the emissions going out, but that's not enough. We've got to remove the emissions that are already out there. And it's too late. We have to do adaptation. Companies like FloodMap are absolutely critical and being used right now live to help people manage through floods. And then there's natural capital, the understanding biodiversity, and again, the value of kelp and the oceans and trees and biodiversity. It is absolutely a huge impact opportunity as well. And then we want to think about the segments. And importantly, I've totally borrowed this from Bill Gates' book. And what I like about it is it's not industries, because I think we've got to stop thinking siloed like industries. We've got to think categories and segments, and these overlap, they interact, and they touch nearly everything: powering, growing, making, moving, cooling, and heating. So which are the sectors and which are we focused on? The next layer for me is technology base. I've spent most of my life in software with a bit of devices, but the technology needed here has a massive science component. We have to think about energy, and also we have to do this at an infrastructure level. So the technology base is significantly broader. And then the next layer we have is the customer. So different kinds of customers. Consumer is very different to business and government, and they all have important roles to play. Certainly, the vast majority of consumers around the world can't make these choices yet, pay the green premiums. Businesses need to be driven with carrot and stick, and government are big customers as well, because they'll need to fund some of these things through to fruition. What stage is your product at? Is it purely research? Are you building new products? Are you improving existing products, or are you scaling deployment? And we need to again invest across all stages of that cycle. Is it a hyper local, or is it regional or global? And the final thing is, how are we going to fund this? Bootstrap, grants, or investors? So again, no easy answer on this. The point is to show that there is complexity, there is overlap, there is challenge, but within that is tremendous opportunity. No one company, no one country is going to solve all these things. We need literally tens of thousands of entrepreneurs pursuing opportunities around these things. And I think absolutely there are opportunities for thousands of successful companies in this new market opportunity over the next 50 years. So Climate Salad, what is that? What are we talking about? So I started Climate Salad about just over a year ago with a view that Australia has a tremendous opportunity to build a climate tech industry, but it's going to happen too slowly for my kids. So I got impatient and I said, I'm going to start something. I had no idea what it was going to become or how it was going to work. I was just going to get in there and work furiously to help as much as I possibly could. And we set a initial goal of being a supporting mechanism and network for Australian climate tech companies. And we were just going to build tools, run programs, and build a community to support them in their growth. Because these climate tech companies are doing three really hard things. Running any business is hard. We know that about failure rates. Any business, whatever it is hard. Secondly, building technology is challenging. Innovation is a hard thing to do. And the third thing is solving climate problems. So we are asking these entrepreneurs to do three hard things, and we need them to be successful. Therefore, we need to do everything in our power to support that journey and to increase their chances of success at scale. And that's exactly the purpose. Our mission, there's some really important numbers here. Our mission is to help, by 2030, help 1,000 climate tech companies in Australia, with 10 of them becoming global successes. And I'm aiming for the Canva, Atlassian, CultureAmp level of success there. Either 10 million tons of, and this is, if they achieve all three, that would be great. And probably if they've got the $1 billion valuation, they'd be at 1 million customers anyway. But or 10 companies that have had a 10 million ton impact on the greenhouse gases. Immediately, there's questions there, right? So flood map, they obviously don't pull out greenhouse gases, but they can help 1 million people survive a flood, and that would be amazing. So it's again, even without our own mission, there are challenges around measurement. But see here, we've got 1,000, so we want to help a lot of companies, but we also want to make sure that we really, really help some companies. So we have a two-phase model, which is one is a platform of light help for 1,000 companies, and then we dive deep into a number of companies and help them grow. And they're our prime customer, is the founders and teams who are building out the companies, and we do a lot of work to help them grow what they're doing. And we focus on 3 areas: building a team, getting customers, and raising capital. So they're the 3 main supporting mechanisms we help these companies with. And we have a lot of partners. So we work with governments, universities. I know there's some Investment New South Wales here. We're working with Investment New South Wales on a Go Global program, which is great. Working with investor groups and corporate groups, helping them participate in the climate tech industry with a goal of actually adding that value. We started last year with 15 companies, and now we are at 250 companies. And this is what gives me inspiration. It's definitely exhausting trying to help them all, but the fact that Australia, and I think this is a quarter of the companies in Australia pursuing climate. There's some on this call I've never met, which is great. But the fact that we've got 250 companies that are collaborating, supporting, and actually driving together towards some growth gives me a lot of inspiration. And they're all passionate about their own areas. They're all passionate about their own customers. They're not all going to succeed. That's the reality of climate, of technology entrepreneurship. But they're all passionately pursuing this. And all of these companies they're not concepts or ideas. They're companies with products in market, and 95% of them have customers. And 12% of them have more than $1 million revenue. So we've got some companies with some real growth. We work within a big ecosystem. So we're not kingdom building here. We partner with absolutely everybody. We need a village here. So we partner with a lot of different companies, seed funds, big tech companies, law firms and accounting firms. BHP are on there. They're recognizing they need to participate in this process, or they could become redundant. No, not tomorrow, but we need everybody in this journey to succeed. We ran the Climate Tech 100 last year, and we're going to run that again over the next few months. So that's identifying not the top 100 climate tech companies, but a representative 100 showing the potential of this market. And the Holon IQ team have done this amazing work, and I really recommend you looking at it. It's a great way to really break down this big problem into bite-sized chunks. And they've done this taxonomy, which again they'll update again this year.